Hello everyone and welcome to the Minimalist Campers. So today we're making spaghetti squash cooked on the fire with a fresh mango and avocado salsa to top it off, and then another pine nuts and garlic with spices to top it off. So that's what we're making today. We're going to start off with preparing the spaghetti squash. So here is my spaghetti squash, and as you can see, what I've done already is cut up the spaghetti squash a little bit so that when we put it on the fire, it's going to cook a little bit faster. Here you can see we have two directions in the cut, and I just want to explain to you that if you cut the spaghetti squash this way, it will be cutting the spaghetti into smaller pieces. And if you don't want to do that, if you want to keep the spaghetti long, you're going to cut it up this way on this length, so that it stays long, because you can see that the fibers are going this way. Okay, so we're gonna start off with oil. I have my spruce tip olive oil, which gives it a really nice flavor. I really love this oil. It has such a nice smell. When you're cutting up your spaghetti squash, you don't want to go too far because you do not want to cut the outer skin here. That's what's going to keep the juices inside, and it's not going to dehydrate. Next is fresh garlic. So I'm going to put half of the fresh garlic so that I can have fresh garlic for the other piece. The next one here is yarrow. So this is what I went and picked in the forest. So yarrow is like this leafy branch that you've probably seen. I think it grows pretty much all over the world in different varieties, but this is pretty much what the leaves look like. In order to prepare them, you just kind of whisk away all of the little feathery parts like that. Yarrow is used as medicine, and what it's used for is that these little parts to the yarrow, these little green leaves, can be dried up and turned into a nice fine powder, and you can put this on fresh cuts to stop the bleeding, is what I use it mostly for. I've also used it as a chew. You can chew on it a little bit and then spit it out and then put it on a burn or a wound. Again, it stops the bleeding, it stops the pain. It worked really well. I burnt myself while I was camping, and all I had was some yarrow leaves, and so I put that on the burn and it stopped the pain right away. So a really useful plant to get to know. There are other uses for them, but we're going to talk about that another day. So for today, we're using it as a herb. So we're cooking it and we're using it for its flavors. And so this part here is ready to be placed in the foil. So my first part here is ready. I'm going to prepare this one later, and I'm just going to show you where we're going to put it on the fire. And I have my tweezers here. So the fire's been started so that I have a nice hot coal that I can just deposit this spaghetti squash on top right here. So while the spaghetti squash is cooking on the fire, we're going to prepare our fresh mango avocado salsa and the pine nuts. So we're going to start with the salsa. So here we did some cutting up. We have 2 mangoes and 2 avocados that I'm going to just put into this bowl. I'm adding some green onions, and I like to keep the flower. So this is green onions from my garden, and these little flowers, if you cut the bottom, they all come apart like that. It's my favorite part. All goes in there. And this is fresh basil leaves, also from the garden, gives a wonderful flavor to the salsa. There you go. So the only thing missing from the salsa now is fresh lime juice, salt, and pepper. There we go. Some salt. So here's our fresh salsa. There we go. Okay, so this part here we're going to add a little bit of oil so it doesn't burn. We're going to put it directly on the fire. My spoon is a little bit dirty. So this is the spruce tip oil again. Put it on there. And the garlic. And a little bit of salt, just for flavor. A little bit of pepper. There we go. Close this up. What we want is we want the pine nuts to roast. So to get brown a little bit, you might have to mix it once or twice so it doesn't burn. It might get brown on the outsides first. Mix it a little bit, put it back on the fire. And again, we're going to be putting it on the ashes right by the spaghetti squash. Even just right here seems perfect. As you can see, both our spaghetti squashes are doing well. They should take about 20 minutes to cook in all. We'll be checking them shortly. If it's cooked. I want to come a little bit closer. I'm going to tell you what to look for. So here you go. It's normal that the outer skin may look burnt, and that's fine. It won't make a difference. So what you're looking for here is to see if the spaghetti squash comes undone easily. So sometimes the garlic becomes very roasted and becomes crunchy. I actually really like that. So now for the taste test. Let's see. Oh my god, it's so good. My favorite salsa. Absolutely beautiful. So there you go. Thank you for watching. Bye.